Welcome, everyone, to a very mystical world.
I used to think that was like a mutated two-headed fish. Now I realize it's a mutated two-headed
Acrobat.
It's a
Human
baby.
Cannibal.
It's a
Little,
two-headed
yeah.
baby.
Yeah, it's double fine for you. So, everybody, in preparation for Psychonauts 2, which we are still planning on doing, and because we were just kind of feeling in the mood since James got off of beating the first game, welcome to Psychonauts in the Rhombus of Ruin, which anybody keeping an eye on the camera movement may already be figuring out. So as I described a while back, I had acquired an Oculus Quest, which can connect with PC and allowed me to play VR games now.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. So a brand new thing. So there are subtitles, and I'm gonna most likely end up talking over a good amount of them because this game has a lot of dialogue. But to basically catch everybody up to speed from the first game, Rasputin had ran away from home to try and become a psychonaut. And through a bunch of wacky, fun adventures, saved the world from being conquered by a dude with an ego complex and who wanted to use children's brains in tanks. But as a cliffhanger to that first game, her father, Truman Zanotto, who was the leader of the Psychonauts, was kidnapped. And as we just finished our little exposition dialogue...
Aw, Mia, you ruined a perfectly fine exposition point.
Also, I want to elaborate, my going all wasn't about Logan talking about the stolen brains. It was talking about how, like, they were talking about the kiss that had.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
They're talking about that.
Guys, you're 10. It's not... That's not a real thing.
And don't worry, the sequel does tackle that of, like, you guys are jumping way ahead of the game. But, so right off the bat, James, what do you think of the brand new engine, the Unreal Engine, and the new looks of these characters?
It truly is amazing to see these designs that were from a very middle point in time, just suddenly amped up for the modern generation. And, it's also funny thinking back on it, because considering the time difference between not just, the original game and this, but also this and Psychonauts 2.
It was a good amount, yeah. So for those wondering, this game came out in 2017. I want to say over 10 years after Psychonauts 1.
Not 10 years. Or was it 10 years?
It was a long time.
Okay, no, you're right. It was over 10 years.
Yeah, wait,
The original game came out
when
in
did the first
2004.
Psychonauts come out?
It came out in 2004 for the Xbox and PS2.
Yeah, it was over 10 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi, Lily.
Yeah.
How you holding up?
So real quick to explain what's going on here. So in this game, in VR... this is the kind of VR game where you're more so playing it while sitting in a chair or standing perfectly still. You're not actually moving around. What's happening is that Raz is going to be basically using chain clairvoyance to basically move his mind from one body to the next as we interact with things. Because this is actually something that I'll throw out there. As niche of a concept as this is, I'm kind of all for it if this team were to do something else with it. This game doesn't play like a Psychonauts game. It more so plays like a LucasArts game in VR. Like it's a point-and-click adventure game interacting with things just in VR.
Yeah.
And with that type of writing and stuff, get out of there.
Oh, you almost hit her.
Whoopsie.
Gotta be gentle.
Sorry,
I can see
I'll
how
flip
this
that
works.
back.
Occasions. I don't wear my
What's up, Gui?
uniform when I'm out in the
No, I can see how this works. I was just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I want to ask, because this is actually something that we also talked about beforehand. So, Allie joining us here, apparently I'm not going to say like the surprise to a lot of us, but apparently she actually has a bit of an attachment to Psychonauts as well. So,
Yeah.
would you mind like giving us
Well-
giving us your thoughts on what you think of like the Psychonauts series in general?
Got it.
It's really creative.
So that's your book, Sasha?
I mean, when I first played
I
it,
never thought you were
it was like a Saturday morning cartoon with a bit more teeth, and like, the style itself is very reminiscent of the early 2000s. Like,
So this is how Sasha
yeah,
sees the world.
because I just remember that style being really like popular back then, and it's a really good style, and it's very tongue in cheek, which I like. It's fun. I play.
And
I
will
played
say
the
just
first
like,
game.
Oh,
The
sorry.
hell is up there? Oh,
Squirrel game.
Oh, hi, squirrel.
one of the squirrels.
Did the squirrels get in here again?
Again.
So, I mean, yeah. The reason I wasn't in that commentary was because I didn't even know you guys were doing Psychonauts, and so I mean, I didn't really say anything.
Well,
So,
Well, I think,
But I-
like we brought up a few times, it's like, not for nothing, it's kind of hard for us to get a good grasp on, like, what exactly your tastes are, because none of us even knew that you were even interested in Psychonauts.
Who asked?
I mean, at the time, I was probably just like doing my own thing and wasn't like, you know.
Oh,
But yeah, no, I played this
got
game.
it?
Oh gosh, what was it? Like, it feels like it's actually been 10 years since I played the first game.
There you go, coach.
But the thing is, when I first played it, I did not beat it until after Psychonauts 2 was out.
Kind of music.
I made it to the meat circus and was
Yeah, he's
I was
into the
stuck.
boy bands.
yeah, Meat Circus is pretty infamous, so I guess another thing I can ask, like, without, like, diving too deep into spoilers, like you mentioned playing the second game, but what were your thoughts on it?
Psychonaut in the first place.
I mean, it's a
Should
natural
really be
step.
protective sleep.
It took some natural steps for, like, especially for Raz's character, and
I'll
Lily's always
yeah.
been better at burning
and like
stuff
I'll
the artwork is gorgeous.
not to burn stuff.
I was gonna say I'll toss in right now that game came out that game came out in the best, like, it was a real breath of fresh air compared to the other games we've been seeing since then.
Yeah, not to mention, like, especially
Yeah,
it coming out at...
Spots?
Oh, we got our old side blast still,
Ooh.
and as anybody who's been hearing over our gabbing and stuff, yes, between this and the second game, they do pretty much keep the entire voice cast of the first game.
Yeah. Like I'm generally impressed that they were actually able to get, like, at the very least, a large majority of the original actors on board still.
Oh, we're learning a bit about Lily's father now as well.
Ah,
Yeah.
Very nervous.
Yeah, things have definitely taken a sharp turn since the end of the first game, which definitely explains why people were clamoring so hard for a sequel.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Like, no, and between this and the sequel, like, I'm looking forward to showing you and, like, seeing you see all that, because they definitely up the, maybe not up the stakes, but they definitely, like, they definitely answer a lot of, like, hanging, like, threads that were from
She must be
the
really freaked out
first
about
game.
Dad. Are you trying to use clairvoyance on that music box? to
Yeah,
make
right
a
now.
connection
Oh, and I
with
guess we
Dad?
talked over it a little bit in the beginning. So we tried contacting the Psychonauts headquarters for help, and they don't believe us that we're trying to help as well. So we're on our
Don't
own
worry.
to try and
You'll get
solve
it.
this kidnapping.
I mean, yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't believe them, because this guy is the head of the Psychonauts, isn't he?
Would you mind if I gave it a
Yeah, no, Truman Zanotto is, and here's his daughter, and here's us. You know, Raz, who just got on from, like, saving the world.
Is it my father? Can you see him?
No, not yet. Something is strange about this signal.
We can maybe make a connection.
It's a little warbly on my end.
Oh yeah, that's just it's a little.
That's
little
the
trippy.
It's
that's
a
the
little-
clairvoyance, I think.
Ah, so am I supposed to naturally feel like jelly?
Yes, is where he does his best concentrate.
Oh,
Yeah, again, the Tim Schafer writing's still there. And aha. Also, really quick, throwing this out there. So, some games in VR, they'll do this nice thing where they combine the two views together, but others, not so much, so I have to make a workaround. So if everything looks like it's a little bit leaning to the left, it's because you're right now seeing my right eye view only.
That
So
makes
this
sense.
normally would be centered, but with some VR games, it's the thing where, like,
It's like the button
they do this like the Labo thing, James, where, like, sometimes you'd have, like, basically what's actually on the screen is the same square image 2 times, one on the left and one on the right, and the
No, they're
lens does
wearing
all the work.
protective suits.
So this game kind of worked like that, but I had a software that allowed me to show my VR thing. So we have ourselves a mysterious chamber that we must now figure out where Truman Zanotto is being held.
Slacker here.
And
Yeah,
unfortunately,
because they're
this
supposed to
guy's
be like at the
projector.
bottom of the ocean.
I guess
Don't
that would explain why
spoil
they all
it.
look. I mean, it would explain why they all look
Watching the
fishy.
show.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm going to say right now, the game is going
At
to
least
pretend
it's
that what
kidnappers,
James said and what Gui said are actually big surprises, but no,
seems
they're
to
not
be
really surprises, because it's
something
it's Tim
dangerous
Schafer and it's
here.
ridiculous, especially after the lungfish, like,
Not
episode
sure.
in the
Oh,
last
yeah.
game.
Something
Yeah.
psychic
But,
and bad.
I do want to ask those, because I guess just for the sake of like this kind of conversation, because I feel like someone's going to ask this sooner or later. You mentioned that this game like acts as kind of like an interquel between Psychonauts 1 and Psychonauts 2. Would you say that there's like anything that you learn in Rhombus of Ruin that you would deem as like being essential to know going into 2, or is it something that like you can still get a good idea of it if you skip it?
As far as the actual plot and the actual events going on in Psychonauts 2, no. At the very and when we cover Psychonauts 2, by the way, we were in an abandoned Psychonauts facility the whole time. In Psychonauts 2, they do a thing at the very start of the game where it's like Raz narrating the events of this game, just to explain what happened. So they were aware. Oh, there's Truman.
Daddy!
Oh, hi.
So it was something where like they knew that this was such a niche way to try and see this game that many may not have a chance to ever play it. So
They've got Truman's head in a giant steel
wow.
Yeah, and
No,
yeah, because they,
it's attached to his
yeah,
body.
when you first start Psychonauts 2, they do kind of summarize the events of Rhombus of Ruin, so you're not left lost.
There's only for one of the characters there. I would say there is one thing that narration does not include. Maybe there's some dialogue that hints at it in Psychonauts 2, like maybe some tossaway dialogue, but this game, towards its end, it definitely tackles something that is pretty groundbreaking for one of the characters that is not touched upon in the Psychonauts 2 yet, maybe in a sequel or something else, but
Another one.
that'd be interesting, but
Big ball.
But yeah, beyond that, I'd say you don't have to play this to be able to enjoy Psychonauts 2, as Gui has definitely proven.
Yeah, because
So,
like
alright.
I kind of got the events leading up to it. Like I understood that, you know, I mean, I don't know if I'm spoiling anything, but I know that
Well, we already
you know, Truman
spoiled,
was
we already
kidnapped,
spoiled where
and
this is.
something was done to his brain.
Okay, I opened
Yes,
the hatch.
and because here we're going to introduce James to something interesting. So he's already learned about the purple gem known as Cytonium or Cytarium or something like that.
It's Psychonium.
Cytonium, which
There's some
enhances
sort of
psychic
glowing yellow
abilities.
rock in here.
Meet the orange variant, which they're going to explain is known as Silurium, which actually inhibits and even can throw off psychic.
So
abilities.
it's literally psychic kryptonite.
Yep.
Pretty much.
This. Fortunately, this doesn't actually make an appearance in the sequel, I don't think. But yeah, just this is something to also, I don't know, new little things to know about. So, as far as we know right now, we know that we're in an we're in an old Psychonauts facility that used to study Silurium and,
Henry,
huh.
what's your problem?
What's your problem, Henry?
Reading a textbook.
My only complaint so far about the game and its presentation is I liked how Sam and Max's subtitles would be stuck to the visor, whereas here, as you're noticing, they kind of hover around something, which, as I'm trying to do my own little stupid pantomime thing, sometimes it's a little tricky to keep an eye on it.
I mean, it definitely feels a little more reminiscent of the older text-based
Lucas,
adventure games where.
Oh, that's fair. It would
was-
appear above their head.
Yeah, it usually appeared above their heads.
That is fair, and that is the story of Henry.
Here's something.
And
Very
now,
crab
and now for
sandwich.
consideration, a crab sandwich.
And yeah, there we go. And one thing I did note, because this is actually my third time recording this, because this actually went through a number of demo things where I finally figured out, because before this used to be a little bit twitchier with my head movement, but I found a way to smooth it out to what I think makes it not as jarring to
not
watch,
sure what I
unless I do that.
But I
Sorry.
did something.
I just like being silly. But, what was it?
Something's happening.
One thing that's right. The thing I was going to say I learned, James, is those codes I was inputting in, those are actually randomized each playthrough.
Ah, okay.
No.
So again,
Now we're
like,
outside of the
the idea of a VR point-and-click adventure
Guys,
game, I'd be down for that.
We're underwater.
I mean,
Or at least
you know,
if it had this kind of, like, look to it.
If Ron Gilbert was ever interested in reviving, or had the means to actually revive his older, like, humongous game titles and make them VR like this.
I do, man. Like, between Monkey Island, hell, I'd even settle for Loom at this point.
Boy, Loom
Wait,
to
for Loom?
die!
Loom,
It's one,
an old LucasArts thing.
yeah, basically, do you remember in the first Monkey Island where you could talk to a guy that has the Ask
Yeah,
Me
I
About
know.
Loom button?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That was an old LucasArts game.
I never,
But yeah,
I,
like, or
I
even
never
how-
knew
oh,
what
dude,
that
like,
looked like.
It was sprite based, very old pixel. The whole, it was called Loom because the whole big gameplay was about.
Lily.
Oh.
Lily, stay away. Don't come here. It's not safe.
Something's not right. This isn't
Prepare the experiment, boys.
Hello.
What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't forget to write.
Oh,
But
connection severed.
Damn.
yeah, well, but at least we know enough that we can figure out how many fingers we're holding up.
purple.
Close enough.
Close enough.
That makes me think back to our. Logan will know this more so than I do, but that just makes me think back to our when we did that whole live recording of Mega Man X, and it's like I made that one random reference to DuckTales Remastered of like how many times you got hit on your head when you were a child, and then all of a sudden
All the
you whip
time.
out
Why?
purple.
Purple. What? I remember that now. Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough reminiscing. So now what?
So we now know exactly where we're headed. And apparently we're flying into the Rhombus of Ruin, which is this universe's, freaking Bermuda Triangle. And we're about to head there right about...
Oh,
We flew into the deadly parallelogram?
Parallelogram.
It's only a rhombus and... Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh no.
no. Oh, lordy.
Oh,
Now we're going
shit.
through some insane turbulence.
Yeah! But yeah, no, and to finish that thought about the VR stuff, the hype, could you imagine a game like this with Grim Fandango's world?
Oh, that would be amazing. Like, honestly, like, I mean, I feel like Grim Fandango is a story that doesn't necessarily need to continue, but I wouldn't be opposed to, like, a port of it where you can, like, go through it in VR.
Whoa!
Oh, shit. Oh,
I love
fuck.
that. Oh my god, why is Yoshi coming at us? And... because Tim Schafer was on a hit that day, James Bond title sequence, let's go.
Oh boy.
You're up, Nick James.
Oh, I see.
And Stephen Stefan.
Yep, it's the whole cast and crew
that Tom?
back, and my god, was this game needed and Psychonauts 2 need? Because I mean, yeah, and now having James now played it, like Psychonauts 1 was just such a cool, like lightning in a bottle hit.
It was a good one for sure. It's just an unfortunate circumstance that it was released at probably the exact wrong time.
Yeah, as opposed to nowadays, like, that was the thing I was getting at, like, nowadays it's like, considering that we've had this kind of, like, slow but still ongoing resurgence of, like, platformers, like, not even just with, like, remakes with, like, Crash and Spyro, but then you have stuff like, you know, Psychonauts 2, and as of at the time of us recording this, we're about to get, KO the Kangaroo. It's like, it's really just, like, platformers are really, like, on their way thriving.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for more, and but yeah, for now we're just gonna be taking a little look at again this for the time the only.
Oh,
news
damn it, that's
we had
right,
of-
water!
Oh, no. Oh, that's right.
We're heading
That's
straight
right.
into the damn thing. Mm-hmm. So join us as what the hell is gonna happen and how are we gonna get out of this? And no, I'm not cliffhanging us just yet. We got a little bit more.
Okay, that's a relief.
So we wake up and
What? Where?
we've been
am I?
captured now.
Ah, crap.
I'm
Well,
Oops.
shit.
there. Sasha, Mia, can you hear me? Where are they?
We'll still say, like, even after, like, 10 plus years later, Richard Horvitz hasn't skipped a beat.
What's this
Nope.
guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I will say, yeah, this being even 5 years, like I'd say the visuals of this definitely hold up. Like again, this was them using the Unreal Engine. Okay, there's our last code. They were using the Unreal Engine to basically, do all their new Psychonauts stuff. And I will throw this out there that as much as I really enjoy Psychonauts 1, it did have those like pre-rendered cutscenes and
Maybe I can
stuff.
open another
But here everything has to pretty much be rendered in real time for it to actually work in VR. So I think between this, like I don't think the team has lost a beat with this yet.
Not really.
I don't think so.
It really just is just a testament to how strong the art design for the Psychonauts games are, because, like, even going as far as, like, the original game up until now, like, they still look really good, and, like all three games just still look great regardless of, like, the power of the platform they're on.
I just realized something, Logan. This game primarily takes place underwater.
The door's
Please tell me at one point we might get a peek out of Linda.
I'm not really out here.
Unfortunately, no, because we are far away from the lake.
Damn.
Or maybe there's an Easter egg for somewhere. I'll look that up later. But for now,
I'd imagine if
welcome.
we're going to be stuck underwater for the majority of the game, at least there's got to be some, nod towards Linda.
I'll look that up now. But for now, welcome
That majestic,
to.
what a magical lady.
Yeah.
No, good stuff. And yeah, welcome to the Rhombus of Ruin itself, which is a massive brain-shaped Silurium deposit, which was dragging all of these vehicles down into the depths.
That would honestly explain why it's pretty much just this universe's answer to the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's like actually like drawing them. Which throwing that out there, like just that visual alone, like God, like having this kind of art design for a VR game. I want more of this because all the VR stuff I've been seeing is kind of it's either been a little hokey or it kind of tries to be too realistic. Like a little too and all that, but in any case,
Yeah.
Or budgeted.
Hello there.
Oh, hi.
I mean,
So,
it's just the unfortunate circumstances, like, that, again, VR is still so niche. Like, there isn't enough to really pour into it to really do stuff like this.
I want to beg our freaking jalopy. So, in the next part, which we'll hopefully get a few more people in, join us as we're going to be continuing our descent to find wherever the heck Mia, Lily, and Sasha. I think I'm forgetting someone.
Later.
Oh yeah, him. We're gonna hopefully find him too. Stay tuned.
All right.
Oh, that's right. We're underwater.
Psychonauts.